Chapter 3. Murderer. Ronnie was a good boy growing up. He never teased his pretty teachers like the other boys did. Pulling the pretty girl's hair, shooting spitballs during class, throwing wet mud found in the fields of the schoolyard that the dew had moistened overnight. He packs the earth down hard with his feet and hands. The distant sound of the water running in the creek brings him an inner sense of belonging to the earth. When he works with the earth in his hands, he is reminded of the first humans ever to exist. He wonders if he's feeling them now. He eats some of the dirt. There, he says. Now we're connected. Now that he's 22, he thought it was high time to get a real job. He had applied all over Greenville in every shop and store. He couldn't understand why no one would so much as offer him a sit-down to talk about his experience, not even at the garage. He thought maybe the shop owner would accept him as an employee, so he had tried there, but behind the smile was a definite no. The pudgy, oil-faced owner of the garage had the nerve to look Ronnie up and down as if he had been left too long in a wet, stinking alley gutter. Fine, a gas station attendant doesn't have to look too glamorous, Ronnie had thought. We already have one too many of your type hanging around here, exclaimed the gas station owner. Why did people always treat him with such unkindness and evil? Pure evil. That's what it was. Ronnie had done the best he could to clean up in the washroom of the gas station he had applied in. He worked to scrub all the dark red-brown remains out from under his nails and off the dry crevices of his hands. Did he smell? It had been days since he had found the creek near the new hole. He had dug next to the first one. It would be stupid to go back there and risk a random pair of eyes seeing him bathe so close to so much horror. It had been an accident the second time. Not on his end, but on hers. He didn't mean to grab her as she walked by. He was going to grab her across the shoulders to scare her first. At the last minute, he grabbed her throat. Too hard, as it turned out. It was only to keep the sound of her loud scream small. She knew exactly who he was. She had just insulted him to his face a few hours ago. Did she scream from tripping over the string on the ground? Or was it really at the sight of him? He really couldn't say. It was just so late. And now, it's too late. It must have been past 2 a.m. She shouldn't have left the sleepover party. If she had stayed with the other girls, she would have been okay, I guess, Ronnie mutters. At least for that night, anyway. That's how far back he could remember. It was all clear to him now. On that afternoon, a young girl had laughed at him as he helped her and her friends pick up the bikes they had fallen from. He had a beak nose, pimples, hair poop brown and thinning from stress. It hung straight down the sides of his face. There was a thin, diseased look about him, but he had trim muscles on his arms and legs from strange but necessary activities carried out when no one saw. They laughed, after he was trying to be so kind to them. "Parakeet beak," they screamed as they rode off. He'd known girls like this his whole life. The perfect people. Those that have it all and know they're better than everyone else. Beautiful, long, thick, silky hair, perfect looks, money to spend whenever they wanted on whatever they wanted, constant party invites, boyfriends, and plenty of air to stick their noses up in. Who was this Christopher anyway? He sounded like a real idiot. But all high schoolers are idiots. That's why they're still in school, Ronnie thought to himself. The level of cruelty Ronnie suffered all through school was enough to send anyone screaming down the street to the nearest mental hospital. He survived high school, severely scathed, but alive. When Ronnie was in school, the other schoolmates didn't send death threats, but varied suggestions to him on how to end his life in ways they saw fit. For some reason, Ronnie never let those notes mess with his mind. They were nasty notes, but he knew they were children and that they must have horrible lives like he did, in order for them to come up with such disgusting things to say. They're all the same. Did they think he would look the way he did if he had a choice? How stupid could they be? It would be like teasing a baby born without a face or legs, or in a happier instance, born without feelings that hurt so very much. This hurt is the kind that could make you crouch to the ground on strained feet and rock if you let it. But you don't. You're stronger than the pain. You can make sure you're stronger than the pain. It's all their fault, really. When bad things happen to those beautiful nymphs, it's all their fault. Perfect people need some texture in their lives. That's what he was there for. Yes, after today, the sick laughter they shot at him instead of grateful thanks, he had decided that if people, girls, were ever to learn how to treat a good man, at 22 he deserved a little more respect now. He would have to teach them. He promised himself to remember the 3 new Huffy bikes and to take notice of all the details of them and store these details in his memory, even if it meant following them and hiding in bushes and trees and behind their homes, which is where Ronnie finds himself when he sees her walking out of the front door at 2:00 dark in the morning. It's his perfect memory that has kept him alive all these years. If you kill someone and don't remember exactly how you did it, you'll be caught, you see. Ronnie had always been a good boy growing up. His father never gave him the respect he should have. A man should never, never do such painful things to a little boy. That little boy will soon grow up, Dad, Ronnie screamed. He grows up and can only hate the body that has allowed someone to overtake it innumerable times, 5, 6 times each and every day. A body that has given him so much pain. A boy that is his only son. I look like Mom a little, yes, but I got your nose and bad skin, didn't I, Dad? I guess that's all you've left for me. I'll take it, 'cause that's the only thing I'll stand for ever again. What would his mother think when she looked down from heaven on him, as Dad would always say when he was a small boy? What would your mother think of you telling me no? I love you. This means love, Ronnie. His father would lyingly use these words for years, a decade and more. Ronnie was a good boy, so he believed his father and wanted his mother to be happy with him, so he let his father hurt him. Just and only so that his mother would smile down on him and know how good of a boy he was and that he was taking good care of Daddy. Sorry, Mother. Daddy needed to sleep, just as I needed to sleep all the time. There is an excuse for some actions, it turns out.